Today our topic is the Stoic approach to dealing with toxic people. Life is full of challenges, and one of the most difficult challenges we face is dealing with people who are toxic. Toxic people can make us feel angry, frustrated, and drained. They can spread negativity and make our lives harder. But the Stoics, ancient philosophers who believed in living a life of wisdom and calm, have a lot to teach us about how to handle such people. The Stoic approach is not about changing others, but about changing how we see and react to them. It is about finding peace within ourselves, even when the world around us is chaotic. The first thing the Stoics teach us is to understand that we cannot control other people. We can only control our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. This is a simple idea, but it is very powerful. When we stop trying to change toxic people, we free ourselves from a lot of stress. Instead of focusing on what they are doing wrong, we focus on what we can do right. This shift in focus is the key to dealing with toxic people in a calm and effective way. Another important Stoic lesson is to practice empathy. Toxic people often act the way they do because they are suffering themselves. They may be dealing with pain, fear, or insecurity. When we see their behavior as a reflection of their inner struggles, it becomes easier to feel compassion rather than anger. This does not mean we have to tolerate their bad behavior, but it helps us to respond with kindness instead of hate. Kindness does not mean weakness. In fact, it takes great strength to be kind to someone who is being difficult. The Stoics also remind us to set clear boundaries. While we should try to be understanding and compassionate, we must also protect ourselves from harm. Setting boundaries means knowing what we will and will not accept from others. It means saying no when necessary and standing up for ourselves in a calm and respectful way. Boundaries are not about punishing others. They are about taking care of ourselves. When we set boundaries, we show others how we expect to be treated, and we create a space where we can feel safe and respected. Another Stoic practice is to focus on what is within our control. Toxic people often try to provoke us or make us feel bad about ourselves. They may criticize us, spread rumors, or try to manipulate us. The Stoics teach us to ignore these attempts because they are outside our control. What others say or think about us is not our business. Our business is to live with integrity and to stay true to our values. When we focus on what we can control, our own actions and attitudes become less affected by the negativity of others. The Stoics also encourage us to practice gratitude. Even in difficult situations, there is always something to be grateful for. When we are dealing with toxic people, we can be grateful for the lessons they teach us. They teach us patience, resilience, and the importance of self-control. They remind us to appreciate the people in our lives who are kind and supportive. Gratitude helps us to see the good in life, even when we are facing challenges. Another important Stoic principle is to accept reality as it is. Toxic people are a part of life, and we cannot avoid them completely. What we can do is accept this reality and find ways to deal with it. Acceptance does not mean giving up or letting others walk all over us. It means recognizing that we cannot change the world, but we can change how we respond to it. When we accept reality, we stop wasting energy on things we cannot control and start focusing on what we can do to make our lives better. The Stoics also teach us to practice self-reflection. When we are dealing with toxic people, it is important to look at our own behavior and see if we are contributing to the problem. Sometimes, we may react in ways that make the situation worse. For example, we may respond with anger or defensiveness, which only fuels the conflict. By reflecting on our actions, we can learn to respond in a more calm and thoughtful way. Self-reflection helps us to grow and become better people, even in difficult situations. Another Stoic practice is to focus on the present moment. Toxic people often bring up past mistakes or future worries, but the Stoics remind us that the only moment we have is the present. When we focus on the here and now, we can deal with problems more effectively. We can listen carefully, think clearly, and respond calmly. By staying present, we avoid getting caught up in negative emotions and can handle situations with greater clarity and wisdom. The Stoics also teach us to practice forgiveness. Holding on to anger and resentment only hurts us in the long run. When we forgive others, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior. It means letting go of the desire for revenge and choosing to move on with our lives. Forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves, not to the person who hurt us. Finally, the Stoics remind us to focus on our own growth and development. Dealing with toxic people can be a difficult experience, but it can also be an opportunity to learn and grow. We can use these challenges to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. By focusing on our own growth, we turn a negative situation into a positive one. We become better equipped to handle whatever life throws at us. In conclusion, the Stoic approach to dealing with toxic people is about focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is about practicing empathy, setting boundaries, and staying true to our values. It is about accepting reality, reflecting on our actions, and staying present in the moment. It is about forgiving others and focusing on our own growth. By following these Stoic principles, we can deal with toxic people in a calm and effective way. We can find peace within ourselves, even in the midst of chaos. And we can live a life of wisdom, strength, and resilience. Remember, the goal is not to change others, but to change ourselves. When we change how we see and react to the world, we change our experience of it. This is the power of the Stoic approach. This is the path to a better life.